Another day at the Crooked Anchor, the Sarcophagus situation. It was unusually lively at the Crooked Anchor, by its standards anyway. The clink of pint glasses, the smell of bubbling gravy, and the unmistakable hum of mild confusion filled the air. Brian, having committed to a rare culinary adventure, was halfway through a ham and cheese toastie, with not too much ham and not too much cheese, just enough to remind me I'm alive, he'd said, when the peculiar happened. A large white van screeched to a halt outside the pub with all the drama of a West End finale. Its back doors flung open, and out stepped a delivery man in high-vis and a dazed expression, like someone who had been hypnotized into working logistics. "What's that bloke up to?" Brian muttered, peering through the pub window. Toasty paused mid-bite. The man pulled a forklift from nowhere. None of them saw it get unpacked, and with alarming nonchalance lifted out what appeared to be a sarcophagus, an actual ancient-looking, hieroglyphic-encrusted, dust-stained sarcophagus. The man placed it gently on the pub lawn like it was a new keg of lager, scratched his head, looked around with the vacant expression of someone who'd just woken up in a play they didn't audition for, and shrugged. David, naturally, stepped outside, wiping his hands on his apron. "Excuse me, kind sir," David called out in his usual cheerful optimism. "What's this for?" The delivery man looked at David, looked at the sarcophagus, looked back at David, and then softly said, "I don't know where I am." He climbed back into his van and drove off, running over a traffic cone that wasn't there a minute ago. Back inside, David announced, "Right then, we've got a sarcophagus now," as if this were the natural progression of things. With considerable effort and a lot of loud grunting, mostly from Warren, who kept lifting with his back, they hauled the ancient coffin into the centre of the pub, right by the dartboard, and everyone gathered around it in awkward reverence. Raymond stood with his arms crossed. "I've slept in worse," he muttered. Brian leaned closer, Toasty forgotten, squinting at the carvings. "Hang on," he said, tracing the etchings with a shaky finger. "That says Brian." "What?" said David, and there it was. All their names, carved into the stone casing in what looked like very deliberate, very old lettering. David Bryan, Pete, Clifford, Warren, Raymond, even Gunther, the pub's absurdly large dog. They all stared. Even the cat, somehow perched atop the bar, stared. A long silence followed. Pete, who had been quiet the entire time, finished his pint in one smooth motion. He set the glass down gently, wiped the foam from his lip with precision, and gave the sarcophagus a single knowing glance. Then he looked at the group and said simply, "Right then," and sat back down at his usual spot. David blinked. "Should we open it?" Raymond started tugging on the lid with enthusiasm. "What's the worst that could happen?" Brian muttered. "I knew this toastie was cursed." As they debated what to do next, the sarcophagus sat patiently, humming very softly to itself, as if biding its time, or maybe just enjoying the pub atmosphere. Another day at the Crooked Anchor.